All right, well, hey, welcome, everybody. Welcome.
Want to ask a quick question?
Okay.
Close today or something?
It's that time of year where it's really hit or miss. Let's just check, really hit or miss. I thought we had more today because it's like cold. But the sun, hey, speaking of sunshine, did the sunshine? That's always nice. That's always nice. So welcome. Thank you all for being here today. Hello, everybody on Zoom. And I also want to say thank you to everybody who participated in Red Day. That was incredible.
Everybody has to clap twice as more as they used to, because we need more claps.
Well, we will clap again because what Grace and Toddy put together for the day was absolutely amazing, and how other people really helped out to put it together. So let's give them a round. Grace didn't clap for you, Toddy.
I know.
See that?
Yeah. On purpose.
And you can never have a better day than when you have a tech update with Jason. That's coming today as well.
That's why nobody's here.
No.
Like,
No.
I'm out.
No, you put the quarter in Jason and just let him go. It's just fun to watch. Sure.
I prefer a 50-cent piece.
50 cents?
Quarter don't get as much as you used to.
Oh, no, it certainly doesn't. So, some important tech updates too.
Maybe.
And let's give it up for play of the week. So, Brian, was recently nominated because on a weekend, he spent a good chunk of time with one of our agents who was trying to understand certain things about the situation that she's in on the sell side. But Brian took a ton of time with her, helping her understand things, knowing he would not get that long, as well as set up a time to meet with that agent to go over, so she could learn the ins and outs of what she was trying to understand. So that's so far above and beyond. And it's beautiful. That's the culture here. And it was great at Red Day because we loved that we had great lawns to lay in and watched Brian do everything. Our group, he just took over and did everything. I mean, we did a couple things, but we pretty much watched him and put a quarter in him and watched him go.
Honestly, he's
Getting a letter from
I was just gonna say that. Did you get any letters yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
That would be just childish and immature.
That was so last year.
And can I add that during Red Day, like I mentioned in the comments, he was sending me pre-approval letters. I think he ran home in
Oh
between
my gosh.
houses to send me a pre-approval letter. Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
You're awesome.
Let's give it up to him again for him again. Yeah.
Stand by.
Let's welcome Brian Sunder.
Huh?
Here comes the jumping.
Somebody turned him on very early.
All right, so I've been kind of working on a series of making your buyers' offers non-contingent. Started with NAF cash, where you're turning your buyers into cash buyers, but also we're not counting the payment on their old house, so they are non-contingent, all right? 2 weeks ago, I talked about our bridge loan, where we're pulling out 80% of the cash out of their existing home, putting it down on the new home. And the NAF cash or the bridge loan doesn't have a payment for 12 months, so we're not counting the principal and interest payment. So they qualify to own the old home and purchase a new home, be able to make a non-contingent offer. All right, today, I wanted to talk about our recast program. So not all of our customers, but a lot of them do qualify to purchase. Purchase without selling. All right, we're gonna treat the old home or the current home as that mortgage payment is a big car payment. It's not going away. And so the new payment, along with the old payment, they qualify and their debt ratio is under 50%. It's the first thing I look at. All right, do they qualify to buy without selling? And, as long as we keep the debt ratio under 50%, a lot of our customers do. And so we need to come up with 5% down on the new place. Well, a lot of they've got a lot of equity, it's all tied up in the current or old house. We'll get a gift, we'll get a 401k loan, we'll find a way to get that 5% down. All right, only 5% down, that's gonna require mortgage insurance. All right, well, once we buy the place, now you're working on selling their old place. 2 months later, you close on it and they're sitting with 100 grand cash, let's say, net from the sale. We're gonna apply it down onto the new property, the new mortgage. Okay, was that 5% down? Now we applied, let's say 100 grand, we're way below 80%. The mortgage insurance falls off. And the principal, we're recasting the payment down to the much lower principal balance, so the principal and interest payment drops like a rock. Now they're sitting with their nice little mortgage that they want on the new place, and they got it non-contingent. Okay, that whole process costs $300. All right, the bridge loan, there's fees, the NAV cash, there's fees. The bridge loan is always the first thing I look at to see how do we make a non-contingent offer, because you know, you're gonna be beating your heads against the wall, making contingent offers for your customers. Any questions on any non-contingent? Yes, got it.
The rumor or not, but are there any restrictions on how much you can recast and put down later? Like, you put the 5 down and then you sold your house and you had 400,000 to put down, are there any restrictions on how much you can put down to recast?
So the only, and actually this is the scenario I gave is probably the only time it's used, but it can be, let's say 2 years later, they get 50 grand inheritance. They can apply that and recast down. You can do that multiple times, just $300. Minimum 5 grand, but there's no maximum. I mean, they could pay it off. I ask that they keep it open for 5 months because otherwise I get penalized. But otherwise, there's no max.
And maybe that's what it was, but if it was done before 5 months, like, I didn't know if there was a look back period, but.
And, you know, they can pay it all the way down to leave 10 grand on it, make 5 payments and then pay it off. And I'll tell them up front. Otherwise, who would want to do that for? So I just tell them up front. That's the deal. But no, there's no max.
I'll say that, Brian is doing that for me right now, and my buyer was, so she was pre-approved with another lender. And, she was looking for a way to not be contingent, because she'd have to get her house on the market like that, and that was way too stressful. So I hooked her up with Brian to see if, you know, I was thinking the NAV cash thing, actually, when I sent her over there. And she was tickled to death that she, you know, she's going with this program and just will recast it after she sells her place. And doesn't have to kill herself to get her place on the market within 5 days of her offer being accepted. By the way, I just sent over the inspection amendment. She is moving forward.
Yes, awesome. Nice. Yeah. All right, so.
Now
Oh,
listen,
we at the first house and we wrap it up. And you might saw this was on the fridge.
Yes.
And I picking up her tools and stuff. Where's my other glove? Searching around, the mulch pile, I'm like, that'd be something I do, dump the mulch on my glove. No glove, looking around. Everybody in our group's looking for the glove for 5 minutes, all right, it's coming. Friday or Saturday morning at 2 a.m. Oh. I know where it is. I threw it on a mulch bag. To keep, it was windy, to keep the bag from blowing away, all right? So then we're cleaning up, somebody scooped it up, threw it in the garbage. So, Grace put on, the lady's name, Diane, and her phone number. Called her on Sunday. Diane, hey, you remember we were looking for the glove? Oh, yeah, I found it. It was in the garbage. I go, awesome, I live 5 minutes away, I'll come pick it up. No, the gal came and picked it up. So I'm thinking it's Grace,
Oh.
but It's a mystery. I don't know, somebody picked up my glove. I'm gonna find it.
Ransom.
I don't know.
Oh, so you still don't have it?
I don't have it.
Oh.
Like, someone went to go pick up the glove? Wasn't that?
Somebody, I think in this room, got the glove.
You gotta narrow down to a female came to pick up the glove.
Yes, I do.
So.
Yeah. All right, I'm not there.
Thank you very much.
Maybe I'll be your next down if you're not.
Also, since we're getting the praises, also thank you for this.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice job with the wig, Will. Fooled everybody.
Way to go.
We've all been. I thought maybe it went out on the victory tour or, yeah, or. Oh, I won't say that.
We just wanna know if it fits. Does the glove?
If it fits, a quit. If it fits, a quit. So, hey, many of you have gotten emails about Chartmaster and, just wanted to touch on it quick. Well, I don't do many things real quick, though, do I, Jason? So, however, I don't want to talk about the logistics of it or the numbers of it. I just want to talk about really, the rhythm of it. So when you dig deeper into it, what's the rhythm, you're looking for to use this? Real quick, so you can use as many of the, I call them stones on the path as you want, and you pick which ones you want to use. So when you meet with a client, it's, let's first of all, what market are you in? And this is how we walk them to a sellable listing. So the reason for this is to have a sellable listing and have stronger opportunities with your clients and then ultimately stronger referrals. So let's dig in a little bit. So first of all, Jeremy, the owner, likes to start with the Q1, the quarterly reports. Or actually, well, he likes to predominantly use these. And the reason is just that there's more data. And ultimately, we're looking to tell a story more than we are saying this is this month. The CMA will get into the nitty-gritty of the month if you do the CMA after. Because what this does, it says, most of our sellers right now know that they're in a seller's market, right? However, it's different for many different price ranges. So you ask them, what price range do you think your home is in? Because now you're able to, now you know before you do your CMA, if you're anywhere near what they're thinking, right? So this sets the table. It's saying, hey, I agree with you. We're in a seller's market. Woo-hoo. All right, we're on a roll. Okay. So now instead of telling them what you think it should be listed at, we move down the road a little bit. The next one is about days on market. Hey, Mr. Seller, woo-hoo. We can do this in let's say it's 500,000. We can do this in 14 days. Would that be good for you? What's this other one? That's if we don't reduce or if we need to reduce the price. So it's important to price well right out the gate. Go. And what Jeremy talks about, this is one of his great lines, is that one's the most important slide at first, well, to set it all up, because one of two things are going to happen, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. Your house is going to make another house look good, or another house is going to make yours look good. You either lead the market or chase it. The good news is it's up to you. So again, you're putting it in their ballpark. Right? So the next step along the way is, since we're talking price reductions, where are we at here? Well, it's about a 48% of all listings in Q1 had a price reduction. That sounds like a lot, and it is, and you can articulate that any which way you want. You are real estate professionals. However, again, this keeps walking them down to a little bit more of the, oh no, more realistic, right? And then again, how much are they reduced then? So on average, the median was 5.5%. So you can look to not only reduce it, but ultimately, if we get the sale, it'll be 5.5% lower than our original list price. So this is a little boring, but there's give and take when you're talking with them. So again, we're walking them down the path, right? We're not just telling them what to think. The best way to work with anybody is if the idea comes from them, right? As opposed to you telling them what to think, although that works at home. The wife tells them what to think. Yes,
I think that slide's really important because if you have that conversation early on, like when I talk to sellers about a price improvement. No matter what the price point, they're like, what are you using, 2,500, 5,000? And if we've already had the discussion that on average, it takes about 5%. And if you're a $500,000 listing, they're doing the math, realizing the first one is 25 grand. I guarantee that never do my clients know it needs to be that much. So I think that's important to have that conversation up front, even if you don't spend too much time on it. You can refer back. Remember that one slide where I showed you that it took about a 5% price reduction to actually sell it? So $2,500 reduction is not gonna do it.
well, that,
I think it's also fascinating to look at that, and it tells you a lot about the sellers in general, at under the $300,000 price range. They tend to greatly overvalue their home. I mean, look at those price reductions, I mean, 11% if it's under 200,000.
during seller's market.
In a seller's market, that is telling you that that buyer is categorically far overvaluing their property on a regular basis.
Is that all properties, including condos and townhouses? Because that's where I'm seeing a huge difference.
Yeah.
Great question, thank you. This is just single family.
Okay,
And
good.
by the way, this is just greater Twin Cities. Now, you can go in and you can pick whatever county you want. And there's also reports for condos and townhomes separate. So
Yeah.
great question on that. They do not include those, because
Okay.
those do skew.
Yeah.
The single family.
Especially right now with insurance issues.
Exactly right. And Scotty, I'm glad you mentioned this too, because there's also the monthly report. So this would also be a cool spot if you're interested in April's monthly report. It'll break down exactly how much the price reduction would be in April if you were to have a price reduction in April. So it'll tell you, just like this does, but it'll say, here's the amount. So you can, they might be doing it in their head, but then you can erase all doubt and say, well, this is what it would be. Again, we're walking them down the path. You gotta mention that there's listings that have failed. So far, we're only talking about listings that have closed. Well, this is how many listings that have failed percentage wise in 500K is almost half. Now, failed can mean, they're still doing, putting it on the market, taking it off the market, putting it back on the market, and that ended in March. So it's skewed that way. So some of these might be back on the market again and or have closed in April.
And where are these statistics from?
So these are from, the Chart Master Group, Jeremy, he takes, well, it's MLS. However, he's able to use all of the listings that have, not only been, that have been come off the market and back on the market. So it tallies those up. So it's a real full story
Right,
as opposed to, hey, we relisted, new price, new picture.
right.
Same
One day
MLS.
on market.
Exactly, yeah, and that's to be seen here too. Is that making sense for everyone? And if this one doesn't make sense to you, you don't have to use it. That's the beauty of this. Because ultimately, this is where it comes down to. Again, walking them down the path. We want them to be in the green. We don't want them to be in the red. Well, at least all of these are all close. At least they all got to the finish line, so that's a good thing. However, in the quarter, price reductions, they only got, if they price reduced, they got 93% of their original list price. And of those, the ones that weren't previously listed, so I mean, you can go down this and explain to them that, wow, 95% of the list price, 91% of the list price. Or do we want to price aggressively and correctly and be 13 days on the market and get 100% of what we're asking on average? And then this breaks it down even easier. So this was a seller, 100, for every 100 final listings, 65 of them will sell. And only 30 of them will sell without a price reduction. They're correctly priced. 27 of them will sell after a price reduction. So basically 67 out of every 100 homes are overpriced. That's saying a lot. Any thoughts? So you're walking them down. Now you're talking about winning. We want to be here. We're going back to winning. This is also like a net sheet that you could use, like your seller's net sheet. you could either pre-populate this, or you could just use it like a seller's net sheet that you do in advance and show people. Or you can do it live in front of them, saying, hey, this is, if we're on the market at this price, chances are we're gonna be on the market for that long. Here's all the costs. Here's how much it will cost to be on the market too long. Here's what it'll benefit if we price it right. So now you're talking real numbers, not just, well, Marge down the street says I can get, 600 grand. Thoughts? What do you think, Jason?
Well, I think what this is designed and how I present it, and how I'm teaching my team to present it is, can we just try 589? That's a common thing that people say. And yes, this is what the math says will happen if we try 589. On the left side, we're gonna end up collecting, on average, people have done this in the past, they've tried 589 too. And 93% of the sale price is what they typically ended up with when their home finally sold. They tried 589, and by the time all the discounts and time came into play, they ended up selling for around 547. That's what happened when people tried 589 for a house that's worth what I think yours is. And they also spent 145 days on the market on average. Some of them longer. You don't get to an average. Everybody doesn't get the average result. On the other side, those who did go with the price that I think is about appropriate for your property, the 550 range, what we saw is most of them sold within 13 days. And the difference between those is all of the differences that pan out. So we certainly can try to lose you money and time if you want. Or we can look at this and be objective about the prices that are currently prevailing in the market and what your house is on the market now. And if this isn't the right number for you, changing what you think it's worth isn't going to change the outcome. And that's what I'm here to do, is help you get the outcome you're seeking. And if the net doesn't meet your net needs, we're gonna have to do something differently to address that than just trying it on the market. Because trying actually doesn't really help your product. If you put a fruit that's not ripe out on the store shelves, it doesn't sell even when it finally goes to the right color, because it's been sitting on the shelves all that time. People are like, it's a little weird. And then think about a banana. I mean, if you put those green bananas out there, the really green ones, they're terrible. They never get there. And then they end up way down the corner on the discount thing with the super things. Now, if you like your bananas like that, that's a win, but there aren't that many people out there in the housing market who like a used brown house. Like, no one. So this is how, when you're having that discussion, this is what's going on. And it's got to be designed around, this is what the data says. It's not me. It's not your house. This is what the market factually is telling you. And you can change those numbers on the situation, and it will do the math appropriately for the numbers you put in. So if you're dealing in a different price category, or they have a different wanna try it price, you can put that number in, and you're gonna get what happens if we try this. And generally, and when I say generally, I mean almost every single case and price point, you're gonna see that just pricing it right is the better answer.
Thank you for the banana analogy. It was appealing. Also, one thing he also recommended, I mean, you can go through this during this part of the presentation, or you can save this to come back to after you give your CMA. Okay, it's just a thought there too. So that's how you walk them to, because now when you sit with them with the CMA, are they in a better position as far as their mental approach to what they're going to agree to for list price, right? I don't know about you. I like talking with people, so I don't mind if it's 140 days on the market. I'll give them a, hey, we're still listed. This is fun, No. This will help them come to that conclusion for themselves. And then there's a lot of other options you can put in there too. This is one you can So hey, 100%, just because it helps them see that if they price it right, they'll get what they want. This you'll recognize from the shift book. This also helps emphasize that they're in the market, but they're not in the market. They're out of them. So it helps emphasize that, as well as gives you the opportunity to talk about condition. And then seller concessions, how about this? You don't have this information anywhere, I don't think. So, hey, 500,000 right down here. We can expect a median of $7,500 will be asked of us. And so that now you've already had that conversation, and they know it's normal. You didn't tell them that. That's a big deal. And then this is just a great visual, as you know, chasing the market. I don't know about you, but I do my business up in here. This kind of business, I love you, but we need to have you in your other house before we get to this stuff. And this is a final one, I think is a good one to share, is this to say, hey, hot or not? Well, it's all green here. It's hot. It's time to get your house on the market. What do you say? So now you brought it full circle. And the one thing, Scotty liked this one, I remember. So for Q1, this talks about who does all the business in this market, which I used to be with these guys, and they used to always, for 25 years, number one in the market. Well, they're able to say that because they're under one umbrella, right? Whereas we're a bunch of franchises. Well, this is pretty dang good, and Colwell just beat them, they just fought their way above them. All right, that's a little spiteful. But Remax, we've got two of the biggest teams in Remax in their whole company right here. So there we are. So there's a slide like this can help you show that you're in a very competitive situation. And the coolest part, Jason, where can they find it?
In their email? No.
I know.
Where?
The dashboard.
Oh,
That's right.
That's such a
What's
great
there?
guess.
woo!
You got two of them right, and you can find Brokerbot on the dashboard, but we'll get to that later.
And a really cool thing is because all of the data market information is in BrokerBot, because we put it there for you to find it. You can actually just go to BrokerBot and just say, hey, what's the average price of a home in Apple Valley X school district? And it'll tell you immediately, so you don't have to go on the MLS. It's already got the information for you. So speed
Could I
things
text
up.
it?
What's that?
Can I text Brokerbot and get that same answer?
You can give it a shot.
Like literally sit at home or in the middle of a thing and text it, hey, let me ask somebody, and then I'll find out.
100%. You could do that for you.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, you do it from your couch. No,
Or in the middle of the listing presentation, you can just, let me send a quick text and get that answer.
there you go, 100%.
Bingo.
So ultimately, better conversations, better outcomes. Let's get it to the closing. So thank you all. There'll be more trainings on the logistics of how to do these things. And it must be Tati's opportunity soon, 'cause she's up and pacing in the
I
back.
just figured I'd get up before I have to get up, so don't fall down.
Womble womble.
Ready?
Oh, okay.
I want to break free.
Yeah.
I want to break.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, you-
I wanted to fix it.
Don't be all.
Yeah. Hey.
Hi.
Happy Wednesday. Okay, we have the Brian Amundsen teaching a class tomorrow again on the pipeline. So be here or be square for that, because every time he teaches it, it's requested again. And the people want more information. So make sure that you show up, because it's gonna be great and he's great. And also, when I took that speech class with him, he killed it. And he has a great, what is it, Jamie?
Basketball hands.
Basketball hands. Yeah, he's good at that. Had to be there. We have the bus tour, lunch and learn happening, hosted by one of our preferred vendors, Brandel Anderson. This is happening on May 27th from noon to 3. So if you want to secure your spot, go ahead and scan that QR code, which is also on the QR code on your tables, which is also in BrokerBot, and you can get signed up there. License renewals. How many of you are done with your CE? Woo! Good job. Okay, we just pushed through, or generally just pushed through, The first round of license renewals, if you're in your renewal year, there was a decent amount, but there's definitely a more decent amount that haven't gone through yet. So, if your license was pushed through the other day, you will be getting it'll show up on your invoice for June, and again, if your license is pushed through June, it will show up on your July invoice. But as a reminder, if it is your license renewal period, you need 30 hours to include, agency, fair housing, and required module. And, if it is not your renewal year, you still need 15 hours of CE to include the required module. You do not need fair housing and you do not need agency in the non-renewal years. So, any questions on CE, please reach out to me. And you can go to BrokerBot, you can scan the QR code, go to BrokerBot and say, how do I check my CEs to find out where you're at? And you can also put in there, how do I get free CE? And the free CE options will show up from KWRI that we are enrolled in. Okay, Olivia is gonna come up and talk to you about Young Adults Quantum Leap that is coming on June 11th.
We're gonna play the video, can we play the video first, or,
Yeah.
okay, that'd be great.
Quit. Oh, the mouse?
Is it this one? Yeah.
Since 2015, we hosted over 1,500 events, awarded over $1 million in scholarships, and impacted over 23,000 lives.
Look at what we created, look at where we come from, and where we are today, where we now live, and then look at how much more we can be over the course of the next 10 years.
I realized that while a lot of people were chasing the hustle culture, you're taught us how to chase the family.
We're teaching young adults how to make value-based decisions for their future.
Has nothing to do with real estate and has everything to do with your mindset and this idea of thinking bigger.
And of course, you have your teller guiding model thing and the amazing food next to it. And there's just no other vehicle I've seen that brings young adults together in this kind of way.
It creates a village to raise our kids. So we've got 4 daughters and we've had 2 so far that have been old enough to participate. And we watched just the ripple effects of everything that they've learned and all the people they've met manifesting everything that they've gone to learn.
Probably provides a fundamental mapping of what life can be.
For my upbringing where I come from, there wasn't any opportunities like this. Going to these events, doing the Fundamental Mission Scholarship, this is putting you in a position where people want you to be successful and you create friendships for life.
You were able to see them build principles and values around their purpose in life, their direction in life. It's needed and we thank them up.
One of me is the reason that I get to live this awesome life and lead.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers for 10 years, and here's the 10 more years.
Of making an impact.
Well, that's pretty much it. Except I need you to help fill the room because our competitors don't have this. I don't know about you, but I didn't have that when I was between the ages of 18 and 28. Grace Tony is at 18 and 28. And imagine if I did, right? Like, and it was nothing against my parents. They just didn't know that they should teach some of these things, right? And so I think we just need to keep in mind, this could go to your database. This could be your own children. It could be your neighbors. Like, what an awesome thing for you to call your past clients and say, hey, Sally, your daughter who's 21, come to this class. It's going to be awesome. And I've seen it taught all over the country. I don't think we've had it here right in our office, but Lola is awesome. She's a Minneapolis Lakes KW agent and she's a qualified instructor, right? You have to be certified through going to Austin and participating and whatnot. So they'll learn how to create a mission statement. They'll come up with their values. And it's just really, from what I've heard, it's real, they just kind of all come out of their shell, right? And so it's coming up on June 11th. Are we charging for that or how do we get materials?
It's free.
Okay, they provide the materials, right, I think.
They just ask for a donation.
A donation, yeah, and I think what I've seen is people donate like 20 or 25 bucks, that doesn't need to be much. But obviously, we're going to encourage every realtor and staff member here in this office that's under the age of 28 to attend. But we would love for you to do the same with your kids, your database, your neighbors, anybody that you can think of. We are gonna open it up to the region because we think that we might be able to fill the room at 60. We're not sure if we would be able to here, and why not be able to impact others too. So what questions do you have about this that I can maybe help answer or encourage you to get your peeps there?
Is it right here?
It's right here,
Oh.
right in the
wow.
training room.
On June 11th.
Yeah, June 11th. Yeah, yep. Do we have, yeah, great.
There's a sign up in the Facebook group. I'll pin it to the top.
Okay,
I don't think we have the QR code up here, but there is a sign up for it, and you can sign up for like your kids and put their name and stuff down.
and I think I saw a flyer too, right?
Yeah.
So then just, you could take the flyer, post it on your social media and say, who are my friends that have kids between the age of 18 to 28? I'd love to, like, my best friend Sheila has two girls, one just graduated high school, and the other one is going into her junior year of college, and I've talked to her about both of them attending, right? So you could even take this video, we could maybe put that in the Facebook group, or I can put it in there later. And send that to them too, so it kind of gives a pretty good explanation, I think, of what they would get and have during that class.
I'll put the link to this video too in the Google Form sign up at the top, so you can click on it, and then right after the team meeting, I'll update the QR code so that the sign up is on there, so you have that bookmarked.
Awesome.
It is on the QR code.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, good, good. Yeah, I think it's just a really great opportunity to pour into the younger kids, right? So, okay.
Is this meant for anybody, not necessarily people interested in real estate?
Correct. Yep, it basically just teaches them how to set, it's a great question, Don. How to set the foundation of their life, and think about the future versus what they're gonna do today or tomorrow or in the next week. So they literally, you kind of saw them on the flip chart, they literally create their own life mission statement. They get a list of values, like even the materials themselves are really freaking incredible. They really are. And it was all written by Gary Keller. So,
What was the cost?
it's free. It's right here, June 11th, 9 to 3.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, questions? Awesome. You just popped in at first. That's great.
Okay, and the last thing I have to talk about is on June 25th, we are partnering with Tammy Bryce. We've done events with her in the past, but you get a special for a fully edited headshot, and then also some B-roll video content. So go ahead and scan that QR code to get signed up. If you have any questions about the details of the day and like what the package includes, Grace is heading this up. So, feel free to reach
She's
out.
heading it up.
She is heading up the headshots. So, yeah, it'll be a great day to get, some social media stuff. And then if you choose to use Grace for your social media, then, she can use that stuff on your social media too. Okay,
And after that, that's ALC happy hour that day.
yay.
Person didn't take pictures. That'd be interesting.
That was,
Well, thank you, Ty.
yeah, you're welcome.
Hey, appreciate you. And if any of you are wondering about how great a job she does, well, she did Brian and my pictures.
Can we go back to the QR code?
Did I?
Oh, yeah, sure, well, there you go. Got it, smile.
Yeah.
All right. Let's bring up the man of the hour, Jason Arvidsson.
I'm only the man of the 20-minute. Whiskey, Jamie. It's all about whiskey. I don't run so much. I like to always start on any discussion about technology, and I don't always do it this way, but I wanna point out, I ain't young. Okay, I'm saying that because I want to preface this with every time I talk about technology, I will run into someone who says, this is for young. Well, I'm not young. And it's okay. you're not gonna be perfect at this any more than I am, because I'm not. I meet people all the time as a director of technology who are far better at this stuff than I am. And I'm amazed by what they do. And a little bit of what I do hopefully will be a little amazing to you, but that's the wonder of the world. It's exciting. And if you want to get better at using technology, the easiest way to do it is exactly what we teach every new agent to do. And that is to be consistent, time block a little time each week, and I promise you, you'll get better pretty quickly. Because it's all there. If you can read, you can win at this. But my grandchildren, I'm picking on people who are in that category, but my grandchildren are just born to it. They pick up an iPad, they're whizzes. They don't know what they're doing, and they don't care if it fails. They just start clicking on buttons until they get the one that they like, and when the one that they like works, they use it again next time. Here's the cool thing. You can do that too. You can just keep clicking things until you get the one you like. And if it's the one you like, click it again. It works, but you get an extra bonus. You can read it. And that makes it all a lot easier. So with that in mind, let's launch into a little bit of things. Sometimes people say you can find that on KWPR-dashboard. And if you're new here, like my friend Marina, very new, you may not know what KWPR-dashboard is, but it is a website that aggregates a lot of the information you can use to help you or business. Somebody is going to say, where do I find the withheld list? So I can promise you, you can find them on KWPR-dashboard.com. If you type that into your browser, KWPR-dashboard.com, come take care. And they'll have all these fun things. And you say, but I don't know any more than that. Then you're just going to roll down a little bit. You go schedule an appointment. You go click on this guy because he'll tell you how to do more things with this kind of thing. But you might be wondering, when is the next thing going on? It's Brian's class. It'll be here on this bad boy right there. And you can come and show up at that class and get information about it. It's super exciting. And if you really like this calendar and say, I really want to know all the things, you can go right down to the bottom and add it to your Google Calendar by clicking Add to Google Calendar. It will add the whole thing right to your calendar. You will never miss another date because it'll all be on your calendar. Computers are magic like that. If you schedule an appointment with us, it's all there as well. But there are some really great things on the dashboard itself, which are really neat. One of the things is how to sign up for free CE. I had somebody ask the other day, how do I sign up for free CE? I heard we have it. How do I sign up? It says right there, how to sign up. And if you click it, it's even a video. It's fun, it's a movie, you can watch it.
Sorry for asking that question.
What's that?
Sorry about asking that.
It's all good. You're not the only one who asked that question. You are not the only one. And the point I want to make about this stuff is the things that are on here. Somebody one time said, hey, I have a question. There's a lot of agents here who have a lot of questions. And as much as I'd like to be 100% available all the time via text, phone call, and email in the manner that you choose, and I do get to them all, I don't always get to them in the order that you might like or that you might need to advance your business in the time that you need to. So we provide these resources for you to get some of the answers quicker if that is fitting to you. And we're still available to answer questions about all of those things as well. Every once in a while, somebody will say, hey, where do I have to get a dish report? Well, believe it or not, that's under city law. All the city laws you can look at are all right there, and you can get that stuff. I want to get to the Canva thing. I heard we have free Canva. Click on the KW Canva button, it'll take you right there. But for those of you who said, you guys keep talking about this broker bot thing all of a sudden, but I don't know how to get in there. Put a broker bot little label right here. He's an ugly fella. He's an ugly fella, but he's supposed to be like a thought bubble. That's why that little angle is there, I think, if I'm not a designer. But if we click on that, that will literally take us right into BrokerBot. And this is what will come up when you go there. And for many of you, you will continue with Google if you're signed in to your KW email. How do I know what I'm signed into? Tell you right up here in your browser what you're signed into. And in this case, That's kw.com. I know that's my KW email. I am not signed up in my KW email. Well, you might need to change that. You can set up new profiles, and we do a whole Google class on this, how to run Google, because Google is its own set of challenges, questions, because it's a problem. But you can get in there. Now, some of you, and if I was in the back corner in light blue, this might be valuable information. Almost all of the HHG people, for example, do not sign in with their KW email. They sign in with their HHG US email because that's the one that is available at the front desk. So if you're not sure which email you're logged into or would log you into BrokerBot, the email that's at the front desk uses is the email that will sign you into Broker. Hey, we can continue with Google because I know I'm logged in, right? And guess what's going to happen when I hit continue with Google? I'm going to get a little crazy because it's going to ask me for dual factor authentication. We're going to go through a whole little parade, but I wanted to do it all for you because, yep, happens to me too. You're not doing anything wrong. That's what I do every time. You can do it too. It's all good. And if you've ever typed in your password in front of somebody else, it is always wrong. Then you gotta find your phone. Why do we have two-factor authentication? Who knows? Security. Security. Pretty simple, but at the end of the day, it's an important part of your business. You are responsible for keeping your clients' information protected as well as yours, and that's a great reason to use two-factor authentication. But get the buttons on your phone, have it set up. We'll take in there. How can I help you today? These are preset things. It can do a lot more than this, but these are examples of things it can do if you need an idea of how I can use this better. But before we dig into that, I think it's really important to start with settings. Okay? On the left, settings. I can change my preferred name if whatever reason when we logged you in and created your account, we created it under your full name and you prefer not to be known by your full name and use a short name or something like that. You can change that. Get your email changed if you don't want to use the email that we have set up and change it to a different one. But I do really recommend getting your phone number in. Because if you get your phone number in, you can start texting with it and it can text with you. And I use this example because I think it's the simplest example of why BrokerBot is so exciting and fun. But also it's kind of like, oh, I really don't need that. But I promise you, I have stood at the front door and thought, what is the door code again? I know those schools just changed it. I know they did. How am I going to text? Who would know the door code? I know. Olivia will know the door code. Olivia will know the door code. I'll tell you what, if you just text BrokerBot, it will send you back the door code. And unlike Olivia, it will not be in the bathroom. So it will just send it back in your text. And then bing, 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 you're good. And I know it works because I do it almost every third day. I have no memory for numbers, but it works all the time. And you do have to go through this spot. So once you put your number in, it's going to send you a code to make sure that you really are the person you say you are. You put that code in, and the easiest way after putting that code in is you're probably doing this on your computer, is then just to ask it in the BrokerBot chat. Say, text me the door code, and it will send you a text. The number that it comes from, and it ends in 8700, by the way. The number that it comes from will be the number it always comes from. So if you save that as a contact, it will be in your phone forever. And all the stuff will push through and you can text it, say all kinds of fun and exciting stuff to the broker. Set your time zone if you need to. Do you want notifications? I sometimes put my notifications on, maybe you don't. I don't recommend training center updates. I don't really care when they do that. I just don't. I don't know why you would if I don't. Email preferences. These are my preferences. I need to be on top of this. You may not need to be on top of every single development that occurs. But one of the nice things with the updates and newsletters your product notifications is you do get things like, hey, we just included this new thing that you can do on BrokerBot now that you might not have been able to do a couple weeks ago. So that can be really neat, just a neat way to know. Also, BrokerBot, if you're signed up, will every week send you an email prompt or a prompt to use in BrokerBot that might be interesting. Like, hey, try this prompt if you're looking for something to do. And there's some pretty cool prompts in there. And because BrokerBot is designed by a company who works with real estate agents, they're targeted to stuff that real estate agents might need, use, or do with. So those prompts can be really cool. Or you can just unsubscribe them all. Sometimes you're like, on the other side of the coin, I don't need any more inputs. That's a great way to do that. The next thing, once you've got your profile set up, is integrations. And integrations is what I think the true key to why BrokerBot is a great choice over things like ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, or all of the other things. You'll see that I have my Gmail connected, my calendar connected, Command connected, and Canva connected. They are all connected. I can run all of those things from this system. And that makes my life a lot easier. But when you have this and it says connect, if you have not already connected, you have the black box that says connect that service. It's just going to ask you to sign in, and it's okay. And then it's going to say, can this thing have all access to all your stuff? Well, it already does, but it needs you to say that it's okay. So, and I said that because it's a common question. Should I have it? Should I give it access to this stuff? If you want to use it, yes. If you don't, no. But I think you want to use it. That's why we click buttons. So let's go ahead and go with yes. But at any rate, these things click in and you start to get some really opportunities to do great stuff. And I want to give you the best example that I can use today. And this one is, please review my Gmail account for appointments that come in the last 24 hours. Right? I get a Gmail notification every time I get an appointment. It's going to go out to my Gmail and it's going to look, do some thinking. And these are all the new appointments I got. So I got a new appointment from Grace, I got a new appointment from April Harris and from Ian. And this one says sent. Okay, it knows because I do this every day. I ask it for new appointments that have been made. Then I say, would you like to add any of these to your Google Calendar, take any other action? Sure, I'm gonna go. So I post an email to the other two people who made appointments with me, just like the one I sent to you. So it's gonna go do some thinking, yay, yay, yay. Here's the preview. This is the email that I'm gonna send it to these folks. April, well, we'll just roll up so we can read the whole one, but this is it composing this. Hey Grace, I'm excited to meet with you on Thursday, May 28th at 3:30. So it went to my calendar, figured out what time Grace is gonna be there. It's gonna be May 28th at 3:30. I don't even know when May 28th is, to be honest. I have no idea. But I know that I'll be meeting Grace at 3:30 now. First step, we're taking a great step toward building a real estate career. Here's what we're gonna cover in the meeting: real estate licensing requirements. We're gonna talk about scholarship opportunities and why KW is the best place to start. And more information about me, so it has my phone number, it has my calendar link, it's gonna send that to them as well. And it has another one set up for April. And at that point, I'm just gonna say send. I don't have to copy and paste it and put it into Gmail. I'm just gonna do the work. Do the work, yes.
Could you give it yes, you could give it a command and say, every day at 3 o'clock, send me an email with, did I play right into your hands?
No.
That's the email you would send them?
Yeah.
But
It's been sent before.
I wanna bring up, and then what it really segues is a different thing. Absolutely, you can do that. Absolutely, it will do that. Absolutely, everything follows from that. Okay? I've given a lot of thought and I get a lot of requests. Can we do an AI class? I've done a lot of AI classes. Here's the thing, what really is beneficial is an AI mastermind, not a class. Because what I'm doing right now solves problems that I have. How many of you get listing appointments in your calendar and you don't know they're coming? Right? So, wow, that's neat that you can do that, man. But what happened when I said that I do this is we had a whole nother person say, well, if you can do that, could I do this? And that's what I'm finding as we're really talking about AI. And when Brian talks tomorrow in his class, Brian sat down with me and talked about all the things he was excited about. And I'm like, well, it doesn't really help me. But wait, if you can do that, then I can do this. Because if you can do that, I can say, Sarah Anderson have any withholds? And then it's gonna go out there, it's gonna do some thinking. It's gonna check spreadsheet for me. And it's gonna spit out all of Sarah Anderson's withholds. This one takes a little bit because it actually has to go to the site and it goes through to Claros and all that stuff. But if I can ask if Sarah Anderson has any withholds, who cares if Sarah Anderson has withholds other than maybe Dawn? What I really want to know is, do you have any in Farmington with 3 bedrooms? Or any in Crystal that are under $200,000? Everything like that comes from another idea. This is just somebody said, hey, I can do this. And I thought, well, if they can do that, I can switch it so you now can do this. Has anybody ever wondered what's on our withheld list?
Yeah.
Does anybody want to comb through that list on a regular basis?
No.
No, of course not. But if I could just go in there and ask, do we have any withholds in Apple Valley with 5 bedrooms or more? You're gonna get an answer. You just have to ask. By the way, if you were out last week in the street with your client coming out of a house and they were frustrated because they didn't find it, you could text BrokerBot that question and have an answer. So you can literally real time reach out to my partner. I can reach out to my partner and get an answer for you and see if we got anything off mark from the text. And it will respond via text. Now, I find all of that fascinating that we can do this. But again, if we go back to the class topic, that solves somebody's problem, but that may not be your problem. Your problem might be entirely different. And if you're not sure how to do that, the best thing you can do if you truly want to say, well, I have a problem. Will, what's your problem? What's your major malfunction, Will? Need more listings. What can I do, brother?
Yeah, that's true.
You just ask it. It's gonna give you a bunch of ideas. And what's really crazy about the ideas it's gonna give you is you're gonna go, that's a terrible idea. But that one I like. Look at that. Finish searching, prospecting, seller leads, expired listings, and FISBOs. At any rate, once it comes up with a list, I can say I really like list number 3 that you had, but I didn't like 5. Give me more like 3 and less like 5. Give me 5 more things. You can keep asking it. But then you really say, but I don't even know how to write the prompt. Guess what? Just ask it. I want to know how to get more results. I just want more results. It's going to tell you. It's just going to tell you. And what's great about BrokerBot is it is literally fed with the information that we give it. Okay? So when I say we give it, it has our policies in there. So if you're part of a team, well, Michelle, talk to some of the folks in different teams. I've got a number of teams that start to sign up. They can have specific information just for their team. And so if you're in the team and you sign in, it goes, oh, you're on Michelle Hoagland's team? And you want to know who the painter that Michelle Hoagland uses? It will tell you who the painter is. You don't have to say, who's the painter that Michelle Hogan uses? It will literally just pick that answer. The crazy thing about that is if Scotty says, who's the painter that Michelle Hogan uses, it'll go, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Because you can create sectioned off spaces for each team. Now, for bigger teams like HHG, they might have a lot more robust uses for that. And as we talked about a couple of weeks, or last time I was up here, I can literally, if the simplest thing I want to do is go to an open house, collect people's names, I can just take a picture of the sheet, names that I've collected, put it in the broker bot and say, add these two in. And it will literally just drop them into your account, as long as you put it.
So it's taking information that we're giving it, so it's meaningful data in, more meaningful data out, right?
Yeah.
So can we all agree that when we ask a question, we start it with as much as Olivia likes dogs, what's the average egg price? All of them doing that.
I will have to say, and that's a great point, because sometimes one of the most exciting parts of my job, and I think people understand this, I do have access to almost everything that transpires in there. And hopefully you're not asking BrokerBot about your medical condition. But I'm going to say this for the record. I don't have time nor the inclination to read any of that stuff. Frankly, and when it comes to business practices, pricing, things like that, I already have easier ways to get all of that information personally. That information is not accessible to other users, but it is accessible to me. And again, I already have access to all that stuff in other ways.
With regard to segmenting a team, is that limiting the capability or just?
It will check the team first for that information, and if it's not available in the team box, it'll expand to the next level box. But again, that team keeps out other people from that information, but it gives them that information first.
Bubble inside a bubble.
Yes. And where I was going with the other thing is I do review your suggestions. So if you say something and you go, attending community events, trade shows and charity events is dumb. If you say that, BrokerBot's gonna let me know that, hey, a user didn't think this is a very good idea. And I can look at that and go, well, the user is wrong. So continue to suggest that, or the user believed that's right for them, but maybe not for everybody. Or sometimes people say, hey, you sent me to this website and that website is wrong. This is the right website. And go, they are 100% right. And that will correct it because I'll look at it and go, the user is right. That is what you should answer from now on. And I do have that responsibility as part of the things I do. So I want to finish up and say, if you got any other questions, I'd love to answer them for you. But honestly, this is a huge tool. It's very useful. You just need to practice using it. And my recommendation for practicing is to put it in your calendar for whatever time amount fits for you. Maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15. And as we move forward into our next AI classes, understand that they're going to be, how are you using it? Here's how I'm using it. And we can learn from each other about all the great things that we do. Tomorrow, I know that Brian Amundsen is going to cover the CRIP method of writing prompts. And it's a fantastic method for writing prompts. So if you're interested in that, that's fine. But if you're not able to come, and sometimes people aren't, I'm going to go back to where I started. Just ask it. It's going to tell you what the method is. And then it'll go through and do it. It's fantastic. And there's so many other things that you can get. Look at that. Quick method. Context, give the background, role, instructions, chart. Here's an example prompt. Now, if I went back and said, use the crit method and write a prompt for me that will do this problem, to solve this problem I have. So we go back to the example of Willie wants more listings. I say, use the crit method to write a prompt to help me figure out how to get more listings. I'm starting to get into the more refined uses of it. Go. Any questions I can answer? Oh, by the way, if you weren't here last time, KWPRTC. It's gonna tell me to put my contracts in there, but it will read my contracts and say, oh, you need to follow up with inspection on this date. Would you like me to make a calendar for that? You need to follow up with this on this date. Would you like me to put a calendar for that? It will tell me literally, well, I don't even remember what that does. But it tells me, looks like you haven't uploaded, please upload the contract file. I'll get started with extracting key dates, adding calendar events, drafting client intro emails, drafting title escrow, etc. emails for you. If you would find that useful, KWPRTC is for you. If you were on a team and you had a transaction coordinator or someone filling in that role, they could build their own routine that's very similar to this with different dates and times. I can't not knowing you.
Does it upload your documents in the command? Split and attach?
It's a great question. And for now, I'm gonna say no, but that's not really relevant when we start using the transact portion of command. But it's a great question.
And to show that under the knowledge section.
They don't get access to the knowledge section.
Oh, they don't, oh,
No.
they just type in.
They just go. Chart master. Let's find out. Chart master. It's all good.
Works.
Is going on in Apple Valley. We'll see what happens. I don't know. That's the great thing about AI. I literally don't know. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. And if it doesn't, we'll have to refine it a little bit.
Hey, while I was thinking, can I ask mine one?
You can please.
Ready? All right. Broker bot. Who has Brian's glove? Broker bot, who has Brian's glove? Oh, is that turned off? Is it, oh, yeah, turned off? Oh, Jennifer Wilson's trying to say hi, dude. So Jennifer Wilson has it, she's on Zoom.
Oh, wow.
She's probably trying to yell, she's like, me, Jennifer Wilson.
That's who Hope is really gonna send.
So Broker bot helped you with that, so thank you.
She was a huge help that day too.
All right, so at any rate, if you want to know how to get your CE, just ask broker bot. They'll give you the codes, they'll give you the website, get that fixed, we have a couple bumps in that one, but that's kind of the point, you have a couple bumps, but we gotta figure it out. And now it can shoot you out, and I got somebody signed up for that just yesterday, pre-CE, so it is online, it's through Kaplan, but free codes and not paying for it is a pretty great way to get your CE done as well.
Well, there's all the info right there.
Now fun. All right, so again, thanks for coming. If you have questions, just make me or ask Gabe.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Thanks, Jason. That was great. All right. And enjoy Brian's cereal.
She had. Hey, Michelle. I talked to somebody yesterday.
Yeah, I did that.
Yes, yes, Gary's gonna hear your mom. Oh, yeah. He signed up.
Yeah. And Gary's gonna talk to you about it because he said, he basically said, well, you need to explore it and see what, if it's the right thing for you. But he was gonna call you and just chat with you about it.
Yeah. Well, and when he said that, you know, and said he goes, oh, Keller Williams, do you know? And of course, you never usually know.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, oh my God, yeah, of course he did, let's try. Yep, like, well, you know, I'm never gonna try to, you know, sway brothers. No, I don't know part of heroes. If they're not, I don't want to promise anything.